felt about you.
Not worried
You
about
knew how
that.
I felt about you, and I thought you felt the same way.
Do. Just because I still wanted to pursue with her does not mean I have to. I want you.
No. When I sat up there and I said,
Don't be dramatic.
I said literally, I'm giving white woman stare. Shut up.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video, another Love Island TED Talk. We are about to cover the last 3 episodes, 25, 26, and 27 of season 6 of Love Island. Episode 25, it leaves off with the boys sitting at the top of the building, and all the boys are in Cordell's ears saying, you got a girl like Daya, mostly Kendall. Kendall's in his ear saying, you got a girl like Daya, light years ahead of what him and Serena have ever had. And him saying that Serena's clothes walling and you want a girl that acts like that, and he's actually able to communicate unlike her, that did not sit right with me. I've got to say, even though Kendall is black, he's not giving black though, because the way he ends up stepping up to Serena, I did not like that. Even after he was saying all this stuff about her behind her back to Cordell, he ends up going to Serena trying to talk to her. And the way he's stepping up to her, and you can kind of see Cordell in the background. I'm going to try to play a footage of this because it was just not sitting right with me. I did not like he was trying to come up to her and talk to her like that. And they were actually like friends. Like clearly they're actually close. And Kendall's kind of always been the one that's like with the girls. And we always thought that like he was a girl's girl. But then as soon as he went to Casa, he showed his true colors and did not like that, did not stand it. But then we also have Miguel saying, yeah, you want your wife to be acting like that? In my opinion, as soon as he asked that question, Cordell was like, yes. I don't know if he actually said yes or not. I don't think he did. But in my opinion, he was thinking, yeah. He was thinking, yes, that's exactly what I want. We all know that. Also, this whole episode, Cordell keeps calling Daya old girl. He never calls her by her name. One thing he's gonna do, chase Serena around and say Serena. If I got paid for every time he said Serena in the last couple episodes, I'd probably have $100 if I got a nickel every time he said it. I'm not upset with that. And also, Kendall asks about the 90-10% thing. He asks Cordell if Serena brought that up to him, which she didn't. And obviously Cordell was confused because the whole Mickey and Leah situation, like that conversation, I think it got, you know, it was a game of telephone and it just, a lot of confusion was there. So obviously Cordell's like, I didn't say it because he didn't. I don't think that's what Miguel was trying to say, but I think that's how Leah heard it. Also, throughout all of this, when Cordell starts approaching people, Miguel is sitting in complete silence. Man has nothing to say. And also, Kendall's saying that Serena's acting immature. Obviously, Serena's not gonna act how she would have acted in the real world. She probably would have just cut things off with him immediately, and then that would have just been the end of it. It's a little bit different when you're on Love Island. And how she was feeling in that moment is how she was feeling. She was being real. She was actually showing her emotions. She's probably been bottling everything up since the beginning. We have not actually seen Serena be vulnerable like that, and I'm not upset with it. And also, I have beef with production with Love Island. I will get into it a little bit more later, but everyone's seeing that ring that they both have that Serena gave to Cordell. They have matching rings. Why did we see a ring exchange? They are trying to paint Serena as a villain, and I do not stand it. Love Island's giving misogynistic, and I don't like it. They try to paint Leah as a villain, which I'll also get into. I just don't get it. Clearly, that's just showing that Cordell and Serena are a lot closer than we really thought. Even though she's our slow burner, she clearly wasn't burning as slow as production made it seem. You know, so after Cordell goes to Leah and asks about the 90-10% thing, she obviously apologizes because she's like, I definitely heard it from somebody, but she's confused as to where she heard it from, but it's from Miguel, and Miguel's sitting there in silence, not doing anything about it. Daya's like, do you want to come talk to me and Cordell, Serena, like just the 3 of us and not 50 opinions? She ends up saying everything that's been going on between them and Casa, more about how she said that Cordell was very open about how he wanted to get to know the both of them. And Serena's like, it sounds like he wanted his cake and to eat it too. Which is true. Daya's just like, yeah, she's just checking boxes and stuff like that, and she's getting up there, but it would take a lot for Cordell to turn his head. Daya ends up saying something like, I don't want to just pop off just because of misinformation, and I just think that we should chill the fuck out. And she's like, I'm gonna walk away. That was giving sneak diss. Did not like that. Obviously, Serena did not think that things were being miscommunicated. She thought that what she was being told, what was actually happening. Didn't really like that. She ends up realizing that. So then finally Cordell and Serena actually sit down and they do talk back and forth. And basically Cordell's like, yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. Me and Daya did kiss. We cuddled. We did this, that, and the other in Casa. He does not care about everything that just happened. He said he cares about him and Serena right this second, right now. Guys, I'd be lying if I said I'm not obsessed with them. Clearly, At first I wanted Kenny and Janae to win. I gotta say, like every other episode I changed my mind. Either it's gotta be Serena and Cordell or it's gotta be Janae and Kenny. Cordell's like, I know Serena, you probably already made your decision, and Serena's like, no, you made your decision when you brought this girl back, which yeah, you didn't have to bring her back. The music, way too good, and also I think I've watched this scene at least 20 times. It was just too good, and when they add good music, it's giving cinematic masterpiece. And Serena's basically just pouring her heart out saying, I really genuinely thought that you felt the same way that I do, because she's like, I like you and I thought you felt that way. And Cordell's like, I do though. He's like, I do. I'm sitting here trying to tell you all I want is you. I hate myself for this, but this is immediately when I knew I wanted them together. Everything that has been going on in these last few episodes, Serena's giving what she needed to give, and she's making Cordell likable. And just everything they're talking about. Did I want Casa Amor to happen? No. But if it never happened, we would have not have gotten everything we've gotten from Serena and Cordell and all the fiery chemistry that they have. It's so unnecessary, but necessary. And Cordell's just like, I am genuinely willing to fight for you because all I want is you. And it is so cute when he tries to hug her and she's like, handshake. And he's like, you know what? I get it. You stand on business. That's that. And the way he was saying Serena, guys, I'm gonna throw up. I'm too obsessed, honestly. And unpopular opinion, I've been watching Love Island since season 1. Season 1 was the worst season. It had no drama, no tea. It was boring. But I will say, the people who are hating, like, I've been here since Love Island UK, the better Love Island. Maybe I will give that Love Island a chance. But also, even if you didn't watch Love Island season 1, stop hating on the people who are joining now, because this is what's gonna help the show keep going. Let's just be happy there's more people here to talk about it with. Okay? I hate when people are like, oh, I was an OG, I'm better than you. Okay, that's fine if you want to think that, whatever. As someone who was watching since season 1, I actually do not care that people are watching it now. I'm happy they are, because I need people to talk to about this amazing show. Also, this is the episode where Miguel tells Sierra he wants to like call it off and pursue things with Leah. And also this is the episode when Janae and Kenny get back together, and she's like, I'm glad you brought this girl back. I'm proud of you for bringing her back, and I wasn't considering your feelings and stuff. And I love Janae, but there's just some things that are very questionable that she says, which all the girls have questionable things. In my opinion, the person who has the least questionable things that they say is Serena. Like, I'm not saying she's perfect at all. Like, Janae, I still love her, you know, the big three, but she does say some questionable things to get male validation, which is giving pick me a little bit. But also, I just know this girl just wants love, and she has so much love to give, so that's why I'm just so understanding of it, because yeah. Kenny's just like, yeah, I'm only in bed with Catherine, but I want you. I absolutely adore the both of them. Also, we got Aaron saying he's gonna ask Kayler to be his girlfriend. Rob's happy for him. I'm not happy. I think it's gross. I've had it with them, honestly. And also we have like Kayler and Aaron talking, and basically she's like, I trust you. I know you would never lie to me. You're so truthful. You're so honest to me. You're everything to me. I'm just gonna be like thinking about Casa a little bit in the back of my head. And Aaron's just like, okay, you don't trust me then. I don't know. This man's giving manipulator, and I just don't like it. He's becoming a little scary. Kayler is ignoring it. That's my problem. Like, she's a little aware of it, but she's kind of just like, okay, well, I still love him though. Basically, Daya and Cordell kind of talked since he brought her back. They really haven't talked since then. If I got paid for every time Daya talked about how Cordell was filling her in Casa, and if you don't forget about Casa, and just like, you know, our connection in Casa, and I hope you just don't forget about it, Casa. I'm not gonna lie, Daya is very beautiful, but if she opens her mouth one more time, I'm actually going to be upset. I hope she can look back at this show and learn from it, and reflect, because I do feel bad that I'm like low-key hating on her, but like, she's absolutely doing the most. It's a fact at this point. Like, basically after Daya saying that she's happy where her and Cordell are at, we hear in a confessional that Cordell's like, yeah, I feel like a crappy person because I actually just want to get to know Serena, and I just want Serena back and Serena. And then we get to that stop sign ticket game, whatever you want to call it, where they talk about things that have been going on in the real world and tweets and stuff like that. Now, one of the comments that I personally don't think that they necessarily like should have put on there, because it's just like how deep like production is on the internet and TikTok. Like, the whole like Daya commenting on Odell Beckham's Instagram, how close like that just is like to being on the internet. I don't know. And the thing is like, this is national TV. This is the national television, and more people are watching, and for them to not actually put the real, like, at least for us, the people, to see actual facts of her commenting on one of his posts or something, or liking his posts, is like kind of upsetting. Because like, although I can't stand Dea, you shouldn't ruin someone like that if you're not gonna actually show proof of it. That's just how I feel about that. Now, I will say, when she ends up approaching him about it, then I kind of started to not believe her, because she tries to be like, oh, well, it was my ex's picture, they were in a group picture, and I was like, oh, who is OBJ? Which, how that slipped off of her tongue was kind of funny, because if you don't know who he is, you're gonna call him Odell Beckham. You're not gonna call him OBJ. She brought up her ex and said like they were in a picture together, and she must have commented on that. So then I was like, okay, well, did you actually comment? Because like, why would you even mention that if you didn't? This man is so checked out after he hears that from her, and he's like, yeah, I mean, if you're saying that it didn't happen, I believe you. And I'm just used to it, which kind of makes me feel bad, because he just brushes it off. But I know it actually hurts, because he doesn't probably really believe her. He's like, great, another girl trying to use me to get to my brother. And also Aaron again cuddling Serena, covering her head when they were getting, you know, the slime and everything on them. The way Aaron clearly is low-key obsessed with Serena is actually kind of hilarious. Now, I don't know what his beef is with Janae ever since that fire pit. Like, he did her dirty. I will never forget that episode when he was like, why is she not leaving? I will never forget that. Janae is too nice for forgiving him. But the way that he is just always cuddling Serena, you never see him do that with Kaylor. Also, towards the end of the episode, Danielle and Kaylor talk, and she tells Kaylor about the showering thing, because Kaylor's like, what's up with that? And Daniela said that she kind of forgot, and Kaylor's like, okay, but that's not something you forget. Did not like how she was coming at Daniela. Personally, I don't hate Daniela as much as everybody else does. Again, we don't really know these Casa girls, so that's why I'm very open-minded trying to get to know them. A lot of people are being a little toxic because they are Leah stans and they are hating on Daniela, but she really hasn't done anything. She came on the show what everyone else did, to find love. Is her and Rob's relationship a little confusing? Yeah, but she's obviously giving Rob a chance. Just because her and Aaron didn't work out doesn't mean that she's gonna be closed off. Like, everything happened so quickly. Like, she's still open to getting to know Rob and stuff. Kaylor coming at her, Aaron should have told you about the shower thing. It was not her responsibility. She told you what she needed to tell you, but it was Aaron's responsibility to tell you everything, and he did not do that. So stop putting it on the girl. I did not like that. And then she's like, well, I'm not trying to put everything on you. You are, though. Now we are on episode 26. It's first part of movie night, but it does follow in from the last episode with Kaylor and Aaron arguing for the 1000th time and her crying. It's really annoying. I have to say though, Kaylor's outfit was everything. It was perfection. It was her best look. I don't care what anyone says. Her hair was perfection. She did need to brush out the curls a little bit, but everything about it, so good. And basically, Kaylor just wants Aaron to take responsibility, and he does not take responsibility for the whole shower thing and not telling her, and he's saying, you shouldn't care about that. It was outside of a challenge. It's not that deep, which it wasn't outside of a challenge when he said he wanted to shower with her. They did kiss in the shower. That was part of a challenge, but he did say he wanted to shower with her when they were just kissing and talking, which they will show that in movie night. Also, Aaron ends up blurting out that he loves Kaylor. I almost yacked. That was not cute. I did not like that. They were trying to give Serena and Cordell. That had no passion, that had no love behind it. I did not like that. It was disgusting. And even Kaylor says, are you trying to manipulate me? I hope you're not. She's slightly aware. She's very self-aware. She just wants to deny it though, but he clearly is manipulating her. So we're back to our fave couple, Cordell and Serena, and they are talking, and Cordell basically says, I want to call things off with Dea and I want only you. And his hair also looks very beautiful, which another thing we do not, production kept out from us. Not only the ring exchange, but Serena has been doing this man's hair. Cause I noticed that there was a clip of him taking his hair out, but then the next clip, his hair was done. And I was like, why does his hair look fresher? Miss Serena has been doing this man's hair, and that's why his hair, he was starting to let it out before Casa, but that's why he's really only been wearing it out since Casa, is because Serena's not doing his hair no more. He found that out because of Miss Andre posted a video on her TikTok talking about it. Which, I just gotta say, they are so obsessed with each other. Serena, you know, she's gotta stand on business a little bit, so she's gotta make him work for it. So she's not about to just forgive him this easily. And I was almost afraid that she wasn't gonna forgive him. But, you know, she gotta stand on business a little bit, so she gotta make him work, unlike Kaylor. It's so cute when Cordell's like, Serena, it is really hard being in this villa, and you not even looking at me. You're not even glancing at me. She's like, yeah, no. No, right, it's not happening. So Kane ends up pulling Sierra to the side, which I kind of forgot that, like, he was even on there for a minute. Like, I kind of knew of him, but like, I didn't really know what he was feeling or anything, because this man isn't bringing drama or nothing, so he's getting no screen time. But he ends up pulling Sierra and said that like they've low-key been making eye contact with each other and he's kind of feeling her. He says he wants to get to know her because, you know, obviously Miguel calls things off with Sierra, so she's like, yeah, why not? Let's get to know each other, which personally I'm not upset with it. But obviously Liv's upset because he didn't come to her first. You know, he's like, it's just a friendship between them, but Liv's like, it's cool, you should have just came to me first about it, and you didn't. So, which I agree, he should have went to Liv first about it. Now, this is the part where it gets a little messy and weird. Daya sitting there acting like she's gonna call things off with Cordell before he calls it off with her. She does like, I'm a little petty, like, but I want to call it off with him. I gotta say, her hair is absolutely stunning and beautiful. I do not stand people talking about her wig. Do not talk about a black girl's hair. Nope. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I saw a TikTok of a girl saying, why is Janae wearing a wig? Why didn't she just get braids like Serena? Serena actually is doing the right thing. Janae's wig has been slaying this whole entire show. Do not hate on her. She's like, I'm tired of seeing that little headband thing. I'm not. I don't care. It's a tiny little headband. It doesn't matter. It ain't hurting nobody. I think Serena and her look beautiful. We got 2 different hairstyles on black girls. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Also, it's an island. Daya, people are like, why did Daya just wear her hair like that if that's what her real hair looks like? First off, black girls don't wear wigs because we're bald headed. That's basically what the girl was saying in her video, that she wore, if she has beautiful hair, she shouldn't wear a wig. You are on a humid island. Why would you want your natural hair out? You would have to do your hair every day. Understandably why she was wearing a wig. But I thought her wig looked fine. I thought it was an okay wig. But her hair is beautiful as well. Her acting all petty, acting like she's gonna call stuff off with Cordell, even though she could tell he was drifting away. She even said herself, I hope that it's not pulling you towards Serena because of that whole tweet thing. And he's like, no, what? That's not happening. It is. And when they talk, they both are basically trying to call it off first. And she's like, yeah, okay, I think you played in my face. We're done. She ends up going to Serena and talking to her and telling her that they called it off, which she also does call him a little boy. Now he's a boy. Now he's a boy. Okay. And she goes to Serena after they talk, and she's like, he's trying to have a one-up on me. Like, I was already trying to call things off because I told him I wasn't really feeling him yesterday, which is a complete lie. You literally said that. I hope you don't forget everything that happened in Casa at least like 20 times. You could tell he was drifting away, and so that's why you wanted to call it off first, because you knew he was going to. And you tell Serena that she can have him. Girl, he already wanted her. I would feel more bad for her if Cordell brought her back and then went to Serena if she wasn't pissing me off so much. Cordell and Serena are going talking on that little dock. Basically, Cordell is just like, I called things off with Daya. What does that mean for us? Where do we stand with each other? And Serena's just like, I need to sit and think about it. And he's like, I don't know if you're listening or care. And she's like, I do. I need to think. Miss Girly Serena needs to think. She got her glasses on because, you know, she's probably about to start crying. Ugh. I love you, Serena, so much. He gives her a little hug kiss. Of course, he always looks back at her because he can't help himself, and he walks away. And she sits there and lays down, and she's crying and thinking. And basically while he's walking away, he's like, I really want you, and please, please, please think about it, because Mans is basically in love with this girl. And I also have beef with Love Island again because they cut off the conversation with a text between Serena and Janae when they're about to start talking and she's about to start crying. And they get a freaking text. And even Janae's like, no! Right now? They get a text and it's movie night. So let's get into movie night. One of the movie night clips we gotta talk about. The whole handshake thing, the little between Kayla and Aaron. Aaron shows that to Daniela, and she already knew that they did a handshake, and she's like, that's crazy, but she didn't know it was the same one. I knew Love Island was gonna play this clip because they saw how easily Kayla forgave him, which doesn't really make a difference because she ends up forgiving him a million times again. But she's like, really, Aaron? The same handshake? And he's like, it's not that same handshake. And it is, though. And he's just in there eating his freaking popcorn. He's over this one because it's really starting to piss me off. But basically, they show a clip of Kayla, Liv, and Rob talking about Andrea and who is the one who really got Andrea off the island. If you're not gonna actually play the footage of them talking, then it doesn't need to be brought up again. It was so unnecessary to play if you're not gonna actually show the footage of it. But basically the girls start arguing, which at the end of the day, this is all Rob's fault. Rob, at the end of the day, it didn't matter if Leah was the one who got Andrea off the island or not, in my opinion. Rob still didn't leave with Andrea. Man is still here, apparently trying to find love. He was acting like he was gonna leave and he still has stayed. So his feelings for Andrea weren't really as strong as he was trying to play it out to be. Because if they were, you would have left. Now what I'm not about to glaze over is after that clip, the girls are going back and forth. And Kayla wants to, and I'm gonna play the footage so that y'all don't think I'm just trying to add this in here. Kayla's all like, acting all scared when Leah and everyone's talking and Serena's like, no, that's what we're not about to do. We are not about to sit here and act all scared. Leah ain't really doing nothing. You're being dramatic. And Kayla's like, well, get your finger out of my face. Like, you're like scaring me. Leah's like, it's giving white woman scared. Was she wrong? Was I surprised that Leah said it? Yeah, but did she tell a lie? No, she didn't tell a lie. Because Kayla, what was that? I will forever look at Kayla differently now. That is how I feel about Kayla. She can get off the island, I would not be upset. Her and Aaron can go. We know they're not gonna date outside. They're not going to. Aaron's gonna ditch her real quick. We all know that. And also Janae is like, guys, we are better than this, which is Janae wrong? No. Did she tell a lie also? No. We are better than this. And then Liv, I was really starting to feel Liv, but when she turned around and started talking to my girl Janae and was like, stay out of it. Serena's like, we're not about to go off on Janae. Janae did nothing wrong. You guys are better than this. Andrea ain't even here no more. So the fact that she's being brought up again and the girls are arguing even though Rob is the problem. Y'all are better than this. Let's hash it out. Let's let it go. Which the girls do at the end of movie night. End up like, you know, talking it out and everything and they're all good again. They don't need to argue when the man is the problem. Also, Love Island obviously plays a clip of Kendall being an instigator and happy for Aaron and happy for Cordell and just being such a hater. And Nicole's kind of like icked out by it. She's like, okay, that's not really how it went or how he told me it went. He was telling me how, you know, he was like, yeah, I'm happy for you guys. I'm happy you're finding someone here. This is what you're feeling. But we all knew that wasn't how it really went. He was trying to project everything onto them so that he can win Love Island. I mean, we see him for who he really is. And then the last clip they ended up playing that a lot of people ended up falling for, which I did not personally, was the clip of like Leah, like obviously Leah was hurt during this time. So she was like saying things that she shouldn't have said. She shouldn't have said that he was crying like a little baby. I love when men cry. I think it shows the type of person that they are when they're able to show their emotions. The way that Rob did it, he shouldn't have been crying. That was very manipulative and I did not like that. But for him to jump into the pool and like hide when he shouldn't have been doing that, he should have just been listening to Leah and trying to make it all about himself like he was in a movie. He shouldn't have done that. There's a difference between men crying and men crying to manipulate people. For them to put that, to try to make it seem like Leah was the villain, Love Island production doing that, I did not like that. And they don't realize how much we actually all love Leah. Are we all understandable and can see her toxic traits? For sure, that's why I'm open-minded to the Casa girls because, you know, even our main girlies can be a little toxic and certain things they say are questionable. Janae can be questionable sometimes, but we still love them. The demographic I think they forget is mostly girls who watch this. So for them to try to paint a girl out to be a villain, it's gonna take a lot. And people who actually felt bad for Rob, y'all need to be strong, okay? We're in episode 27 and it's the second part of movie night and we also get a montage of Serena crying. I think that was necessary because people are not understanding Serena and her emotions. And Serena is afraid to wear her heart on her sleeve. And so even when they were showing the clip of everything that was going on in Casa, like when her and Kaylor saw and she was like smiling, she wasn't really laughing. She wasn't really smiling. She didn't want to cry. I know what it's like when you're in a state of shock to like laugh or when you're upset, you kind of laugh. That's what she was doing, but she was clearly hurt. Then we get a clip of Sierra and Miggy. Yeah, that was unnecessary, so. I didn't really care also to see Aaron and Daniela again, but we get another clip of them and basically we kind of see how close they are. Like I've been saying that they were basically dating in Casa and they show them kissing for a really long time and then he's like, basically, I want to go shower with you. And he's like, no, I can't take it back. And Daniela's like, you said it, not me. Like that's when Kayla starts crying again because she's like, wow, you didn't say it inside of a challenge. Like, and also it showed them kissing again after they did the challenge in the shower. Obviously that would hurt to see it, let alone to hear it, but to see it. But yeah, okay, she starts crying again. He walks off. Rob is comforting him, yada, yada. I gotta say Rob's maturity when the situation has nothing to do with him. He's very smart. But when it has to do with him, he acts like a 12-year-old boy. But I don't really care about this because Kaylor forgives him again. At least the girls make up though because the boys are clearly the problem. I don't hate on Liv that much because if I like Leah, I kind of have to like Liv because they're two different sides of the same coin. That's why they butt heads a lot because they're so similar. And thankfully Nicole finally calls out Kendall for his freaking reaction when he was in Casa and how he was egging all the guys on and stuff. And he asks her like, do you feel differently about me? And she kind of pauses and says no, but I think she does look at him slightly differently, which is the only thing likable about her at this point. Not that she's necessarily doing anything wrong. I kind of just didn't like her from the beginning, how she was coming at Janae. So I just never really cared for her since I've been watching this show, to be honest. And her being with Kendall makes me dislike her even more because I cannot stand him. he is a black person who is not for black people, and I don't like that. You know, I never judge people for who they date, but like the way that he's acting towards the black women on here, it's not giving. And again, I love Janae, but she's very questionable this episode. There's two things that stand out to me that is very questionable that I'm just like, girl, I know you love everybody and you have so much love and you just want everyone to be together and be happy, but that cannot happen in this world, unfortunately, okay? The first thing that she says is she talks to Leah and basically says that like Rob low-key still wants to be with her. She can feel the chemistry in the air, which yeah, they have chemistry, but they are not meant to be together. We have to accept that. In this episode, we all, you know, in the back of our minds kind of was feeling when Leah pulls Rob to talk and they hug and chit chat, and it's like kind of like everything. It's also a whole lot of nothing. We didn't need Janae telling Leah that. And then Janae also saying, why is everyone comforting Kaylor when no one's comforting Rob? I understand both sides. Janae, no one needs to be comforting Rob because Rob is the problem. But also, Kaylor, no one needs to be comforting Kaylor anymore because Kaylor is the problem. If she's going to stay with this man, Aaron, then no one needs to be coddling her anymore. So if you're gonna do it to one person, you gotta do it to the other. I get it, but it's also just like, girl, worrying about a man, the boys will be cuddling him fine, okay? The girls don't need to be doing it. With that being said, still love Janae and Kenny. I'm feeling it. I will say personally, I wasn't sure if his feelings were authentic or not, and that makes me so sad that like when you watch reality shows, you wonder if, even if the guy is black, white, whatever ethnicity, you really wonder if they're with a black woman, let alone a dark-skinned black woman, if their feelings for them are authentic. Even though I found out that Connor is mixed, he's not giving mixed. He said his type is blonde and then he dissed Janae for no reason and went to Leah. It just made me wonder if Kenny's feelings and emotions towards her were real. Then I guess like he has a cousin named Johnny. I don't know if it's actually his cousin or not. Can anyone confirm this or not? If it's actually his cousin, but he was basically saying how like he loves Janae and he thinks that Kenny does really like Janae and has feelings for her because his dating history is adding up. He has been with black girls in the past, so it makes sense that he brought Catherine back and he wanted to get to know Janae still. It kind of makes me a little bit more like something has been lifted off of me, even though this has nothing to do with me. It's just, you know, as a light-skinned black girl, I have to stand up for my dark-skinned girls. I have to be an advocate for them, especially because I have an older sister who is dark-skinned. You have to wonder if people's feelings and emotions are authentic when I see her, you know, dating white guys. I just have to hope that their feelings towards her are real and not just either a fetish or just like a one-time thing, you know? I think his feelings are true to her. So Kane and Sierra are like low-key kind of cute. They're like doing some yoga and stretching outside. They're cute. But all I gotta say is Kane did not need to sleep outside. That was the most dramatic thing ever for no reason. Now back to my favorite couple in the entire world, the Queen. And I guess he could become a king when Serena forgives him, which is what happens in this episode. Basically, Cordell just ends up telling Serena like, the ball is in your court. You know how I feel. I laid it all out there for you. I want to know what you're feeling. And Serena's like, yeah, I want you. And they're both like, yeah, let's close it off. And so they do. Also, Janae watching them, hilarious. Miss Girl was hilarious. I absolutely think Janae is so funny. But then we get Miggy and Leah and they start talking, and Miggy's kind of like the only guy on here who's always been true to himself and like real, even though like he is kind of annoying a little bit. Now I will say they did not bring another guy on here where all the girls were like swooning over, to be honest. Like when Miggy came on here, every single girl wanted him, especially Serena and Janae, which clearly he didn't know at first, but now we know he doesn't like dark-skinned girls, obviously. And also his reaction, like, you want your wife acting like that? You know what that smells like? Him and Leah talk and he's basically like, yeah, usually I would call things off because he clearly looked like he was icked out when he saw how Leah was acting at movie night. And he's like, I usually would call it off in the real world. It kind of reminds me of my parents arguing and stuff like that, but I can see the person you're becoming. I would still like to get to know you. He wasn't really like liking how she was reacting to stuff and how it was kind of triggering. And she's like, yeah, I didn't really like how I was reacting either. And she's learning from it. Love a self-aware queen. It's the end of the episode and it is the recoupling. Kendall and Nicole obviously recoupled, don't care. Kenny and Janae recoupled, absolutely am happy about that, but we all knew that was gonna happen. Everything he said, he was giving poet. Kaylor and Aaron, don't care, they recouple. Also, Aaron and Kaylor really are pissing me off because Aaron gives Kaylor a necklace, and the fact that they showed that but they didn't show Cordell and Serena's ring exchange, I am beyond They need to play that footage for us. They need to do an extended episode of just random footage we didn't get to see, and we need to see that. We also need to see Serena doing his hair. No one cared about the seashell. Leah and Miggy recouple, and Rob and Daniela recouple. People were thinking he was going to choose Liv because of their friendship, but I didn't think that. If anything, it low-key felt like he wanted to choose Leah. Justice for Catherine, because she is very sweet. She seems genuinely really nice. I'd like to see her on another show. But with that being said, Catherine, Dea, and Liv are all being dumped. Of course, all the girls are crying because they're gonna miss Liv. I feel like they didn't really show how close all the girls were with Liv, only Kaylor. But I feel like they were all really close at the end of the day because they're spending 24/7 together. Now we're at the very last second of the episode. The girls leave. Ariana, queen, love her hair in this episode. She comes back and she's like, we have a bombshell, and it's Harrison from season 5. Personally, didn't really care. He came really late. I think he would have been perfect for Liv, but Liv left, so that doesn't mean anything. I don't really care. I don't think anyone's gonna turn their head because they're so far into the game now that it just, personally, I don't really care. Like when they bring someone who has already been on Love Island, when they bring them back this late into the show, that's never been like something I've cared for. And then also the next episode is very uninteresting, and they're gonna get a text that's gonna change everything. I don't really know what I'm looking forward to with that. Not giving interesting, but of course I'm still excited for the next episode. I'm just not as excited as I have been with the last few episodes as I am with this episode tonight. I just want more Cordell and Serena screen time, and that is all I care about right this second. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If anyone clicks on it and watches it, if you do, thank you so much. My name is Samya Swan, and I have a TikTok and an Instagram if you're interested in following either of those. And I will be here in a couple days to talk about more Love Island episodes. Bye!